Hello. And go on Twitch. Hello. We are back. We are back, baby. I don't know how back we are yet. We'll see. Try to have it on low latency so I can discuss with people, but we'll see how it goes. If you missed my little beginning of my last, I started the stream, had to restart it real quick. If you missed the beginning, did a trip to Epic Universe. One of the best theme parks I've ever been to in my entire life. And I simply must rank every ride there is. I went on everything except for one, but you'll find out what that is. But I went on everything, and it was an amazing day. And it was my 21st birthday as well. So it's just super duper fucking special. And, gotta make some content out of it. I'm excited. Let me just double check, make sure everything's good before I really get started. Okay. Cool. Let me make sure. Nice. Alrighty. Well, today we are going to be ranking every ride at Epic Universe from worst to best and on a tier list. So let's get over to that tier list, shall we? Look at me. Look at my nice camera. See how much room that takes up? What's up, huge? Doesn't this camera look nice, bro? I was showing the chat earlier, but the autofocus, you can see all the fucking condensation on that shit. Ooh, it looks nice. Okay, here we go. Every ride at Epic Universe ranked. I will be doing this from in order that I rode the rides, okay? So you can use this video as a rope drop strategy or a layout for how to get the best out of your buck, because I rode everything, multiple things, more than once. So I feel pretty versed on this topic, even though I've only been to the park one time. I hope that I get to go another time, but pretty fucking exciting. So, to begin with, I rope dropped. I didn't have early admission. I only had regular park admission because I wasn't staying at a hotel or anything. So, we started. We couldn't go to Nintendo World first. Not the Strat. Couldn't go to Harry Potter. Not the Strat. Those get flooded immediately. So, decided to go to Isle of Berk and ride Hiccup's Wing Gliders. Gotta say, as a first ride, it's pretty fucking fantastic. I'm just gonna put it right up in the S tier, guys. Simply put, it was one of my favorite rides in the park. An absolute sleeper. I had no idea how good it is. No, bro. Donkey Kong's in America. Donkey Kong I rode it, bro. Mario Kart Madness, I went on that shit. But Hiccup's Wing Gliders, man, it is a impressive coaster. For a family coaster, really not that bad. Really like a pretty serious ride. Like, I got some decent thrill out of it. The animatronics, specifically Toothless, is fucking phenomenal. The score on the ride, oh my god, it makes that shit, man. The fact that we get to hear test drive while pretending like we're flying, it's pretty fucking amazing. The whole ride itself, I have some pretty high praise for. Wasn't expecting a second launch, and I also wasn't expecting for there to be like show scenes and like speaking, but it was absolutely delightful. Getting to see the whole land from up high and going through different areas was pretty sick. You got a pretty good view of Stardust Racers as well. Yes, and we got to ride this twice. Towards the end of the day, we caught the show, the Untrainable Dragon, which gotta say was also sick. Highly recommend, especially because I don't even like theme park shows like that. But being able, I don't want to spoil it. If you don't want to spoil it for the show, you're gonna go to the park, skip this. But the show has Hiccup and Toothless fly over the crowd, and I'm not even just talking like just the front row. I'm talking about the entire audience. We were in the back, and he was still over us. It was pretty fucking amazing. Then after the ride, or after the show, immediately hopped back on this ride for a second time in the rain. And it only rained for while we were on the ride. But it was pretty fucking sick, and I think it was easily one of my favorites, honestly, of the whole trip. Had no expectations, and it exceeded them highly. Next up, we have got Dragon Racers Rally. This was not great. I think that it could have been better, but it suffers from two very big issues, which are the ride time is very short, and the flipping, which I'll explain in a sec, is so hard to do. Eugene, I'm just surprised. Does it not rain in California that often? Like, that's crazy. Florida rains all the time, but you probably knew that. But Dragon Racers Rally, man, second ride we went on, tried to get some flipping action going because it's a regular flying ride, just like the Shell Shock one in Nickelodeon World or whatever. And you can do some crazy flips on that if you get the momentum. But for some reason on this ride, it is so hard. It is a really, like, you got to immediately start going. And then even once you get it, ride's pretty much over. Probably like 30 to 45 seconds in the air. And because of that, gotta mention that it's C, man. I gotta say it's C. But I want to mention that the line can also get crazy for this. It wasn't when we did because we rope dropped it, but the line can get absurd. Especially given the fact that, I guess I'm not even listening to anything. I don't really need these headphones on. Given the fact that it has such a low capacity, I've seen weights of 45 plus for this ride. It is not even worth, I would even say 15. I would say it's generally a skip. Next was Fire Drill. I actually didn't ride this, but I'm just going to bullshit and say that I did for the video. Pretty boring ride. Pretty awful. I wouldn't ride this unless you're trying to cool down, but the ride time can also be pretty long, the waits. Every ride in this park can be a long wait, including 45 for this one as well. I'll mention that right now, actually. We went on Labor Day, specifically Labor Day itself. Not Labor Day weekend, Monday, Labor Day. And Eugene, you asked, were the lines long for the majority of the rides? No. They were short as fuck. The only line we had to wait in, for real, was probably like 45 minutes for the Harry Potter Battle of the Ministry. That was the longest wait. And then Minecart Madness, we had to wait a long time for, probably like 70 minutes. But it would have been 45 or less. But it thunderstormed, so we had to just wait it out. Luckily, we had already written everything out, so we just were like, let's just sit here. And then we saw pretty much as soon as it was ready to go, we were right there at the end. So it was not that bad. Anyway, Fire Drill, wouldn't recommend. One of the worst rides there. Maybe the worst. Yeah, actually, I will say it's the worst because next up is Constellation Carousel, which is also going to go in the F tier, unfortunately. But not quite surprised. I wouldn't say it's surprising. If you're surprised by this, I don't know. That's crazy. It's a carousel. It is a pretty cool carousel, and I'm pretty sure at night, I didn't get to see it at night, but it seems pretty crazy from videos. But as a whole, it's carousel. Can't go that high. And by the way, F tier doesn't mean that it's a F tier ride in general. It's just F tier for what it is in the park compared to everything else. I would kind of say the F tiers are skips, especially because I skipped them. Wink, wink. But I wouldn't have gone on them myself. Next, we went to Nintendo World. And first up, we rode Mario Kart Bowser's Challenge. This ride is highly anticipated for, I think, all of us there. Nintendo World itself was fucking breathtaking. Like absolutely gobsmacking gorgeous. Like I going entering in and seeing Princess Peach's like castle and then everything else, it actually may have been one of the best moments of the day. Um, jaw was on the floor, to put it simply. Um, and first thing we went to was Mario Kart Challenge. The line itself, fucking magnificent, fucking crazy. I loved all the Easter eggs and references to not just Mario Kart, but all like Mario property in general. I can't think of like specific Easter eggs, but I just remember reading all these books that have titles that are pretty fucking funny. So, bro, Nintendo also has the Yoshi ride. I didn't get to see it. The merch was low key pretty ass. I looked at the Nintendo merch. I wanted to buy some, but it was all pretty shit. But yeah, we had the Yoshi ride. We have all three rides here. I hope they make Hyrule next too. I think they will because in the gift shop, the Nintendo World gift shop, they have stained glass that has Link, Zelda, and Ganon on it. Pretty fucking crazy. Anyway, the ride itself, Mario Kart. I was thoroughly impressed by the sets and the design. It was so fucking sick. Yeah, Eugene, I could send you a picture. Um, it was so crazy being like seeing all this shit. I didn't expect them to go all out, especially when I saw that we put face shit on and there was AR elements. Thought there was going to be barely any sets. I thought we were going to be looking at screens majority of the time, but the sets were easily the best part. This wasn't very thrilling, but it was a very good ride, except for the shooter element of it. Personally, I don't really like shooter rides very often. I hate Buzz Lightyear in Disney. I hate Toy Story Mania in Disney. I can stand Men in Black here because there's some fun elements, but all the shooting was only in your glasses, and it was kind of cool, but I don't think the AR looked that good. I thought that it was more distracting than it was like immersive. AR didn't look great. Yeah, you just shoot shells at other racers. Um, and it kind of took away from looking at the sets. It didn't look like the other racers, the Mario Kart characters were like on the same course with you. It just looked like they were kind of flying next to you. And honestly, I think I would have liked it more if I didn't play the game. If I just watched, like, experienced the sets, I think I would have enjoyed it. The only exception is the Rainbow Road section was genuinely one of the best things I've seen in a ride in a long time. I don't know how they made it look so good. That was one of the only points where I actually felt like the drivers were near me. But as a whole, it is not one of my favorite rides. I actually am going to put it in B, which I know that may shock some people, but I think next time I go on it, I'm not going to put on the glasses, or at least I'm not going to pay attention to the shooting. I'm just going to look around at the sets because I just wanted to enjoy it. It wasn't very thrilling, but it was just a good ride. It was a diminishing return to have the shooter element, in my opinion. Exactly. You can't do Mario Kart without Rainbow Road. And not only that, I was impressed that we got to see so many other courses like Cloud Top, whatever the fuck, and like a Bowser's Fortress one. And Boo's Mansion was amazing. God, I love that ride. It was a good ride, but not a great ride, not a perfect ride. Next up, we did I believe it was I don't actually. I think next we did Stardust Racers. Yeah, Aiden, I agree with you. If the steering itself as well, like actually affected the car, would have been fucking peak. I think it's a little silly that the Mario Kart ride gives you a steering wheel that actually like is like placebo. Like it doesn't do anything. Next up, yeah, we did Stardust Racers, and I'm not even gonna like leave y'all waiting. It's the best ride so far. Not gonna say the best ride in the park yet. We'll see if it actually ends up being that. But it was definitely the best ride so far. One of the best coasters I've ever been on in my entire life. I did not think. I gotta hold on. I gotta turn it to the other view just so you can tell how fucking serious I am. I did not think there was gonna be another roller coaster in my lifetime that was gonna rival Velocicoaster, especially not at Universal. They fucking did it, bro. This is the ride. This dethroned Velocicoaster. I couldn't believe my fucking eyes. There were multiple moments where I was fucking flabbergasted. And the fact that we rode 3 times in a row immediately because there was no wait. Labor Day waits were non-existent, bro. Seriously, if you can go next year or go to any Universal, go on Labor Day. It is the move. We got to just ride this back to back to back. It was fucking real. And the 2 tracks made it so much more re-rideable as well. On a re-rideability scale, this is a 10, easy. As a ride scale, it's also a 10. It is a perfect ride. Only thing that I could even give a note on, which is super nitpicky, is that at night the lighting package could have been more impressive. It was really just the cars themselves. And also the view when you go up the top, it's a little bare around the sides. You don't get to see that much because they haven't expanded. But if they put like a little bit more area to it, maybe that's where they put Hyrule, could be sick. But easily one of the best rides of the park. So we rode it 3 times initially, and then we went back later, did it at night, and we rode it another 4 times. So we rode Stardust Racers 7 times, and I was not tired of it. We just went back and forth, and we kept having trouble deciding which track was better. They are both, honestly, I'd say equally good. They're good for different reasons, but they're equally good. So fucking believe the hype. Oh my God. Okay. Next up, we went to Harry Potter and the Battle at the Ministry. This ride is the one I knew the least about, and I went in completely blind for the most part. I knew the ride vehicle was the elevators from the Ministry of Magic when they move aside, but didn't really know anything besides that. And I gotta say, this is one of the most impressive rides I've ever been on. But it is not my favorite. It's great for what it is. I am still a Harry Potter fan. Yes, I am. I'm a Slytherin, I believe still. Maybe a Ravenclaw. I've gotten both, but still a Harry Potter fan. I enjoy seeing these characters. The queue was the best in the park and maybe the best I've ever seen in my life. Only rivaled really by Gringotts. They know how to do Harry Potter queues. And this ride blew my socks off, but it can't go above a coaster because it's just not very thrilling. It's not very crazy. The technology itself is more impressive than anything I've ever seen. The screens blend seamlessly with everything going on. The sets are pretty amazing, and the animatronics are fucking crazy. The only thing that I didn't like about some of them, and not even all of them, were the projection faces. Spoiler alert. Sorry, there are some projected faces, just like the Frozen ride at Disney. And it just doesn't work, especially not for real people's faces. The Disney ones work better because they're cartoon faces, but this was like Harry had a projected face. That's a fucking no-go. But they do have banker elves. I think they're goblins, but I think that the ride vehicle was pretty impressive. I wish that I had more of a dropping feeling, especially getting into a ride like that. They wanted to do the Rise of the Resistance for Universal. but it just didn't have that thrilling. Like, it didn't have that thrilling element. Like, like Rise of Resistance has a drop tower moment, and this is something you would think. It's literally shaped like a drop tower, and there's no drop tower moment. But it did feel very cool. A lot of the elements were very creative, and there's specifically 2 or 3 animatronics that looked like I thought they were actors. They look so good. So that, with that being said, it's gonna have to go A tier. Behind Wing Gliders, which is crazy. I would not have expected this, but I must stay true to myself in my opinions. Which brings us to the next area, Dark Universe. To begin with, we've got on Curse of the Werewolf, which was overall disappointing. Yeah, dude, there's a Death Eater, Aiden, the first Death Eater, I was like, that's a dude, that's an actor. Curse of the Werewolf, I didn't have the highest hopes for. Knew it was a smaller coaster, but I still was excited about the spinning element. And it seems that really depends on what order you are in the seating or weight distribution. But unfortunately, my vehicle did not spin very much. I liked the back and forth launch. The werewolf looked pretty sick, but it wasn't anything special. I checked the wait time today, random Wednesday, 2 days after I was there. 90 minutes for this ride. Never ride this for over 30 minutes. It is not worth it. Just skip it. But it is still fun. It didn't have like a clear flaw, because at least you would get a little bit of spin time no matter what, I'd say. And you'll get a little thrill. Sometimes you're going backwards, but it's going to have to go B. It's behind Mario Kart for sure, but above Dragon Racers Rally. Now, Monsters Unchained. I had high hopes for this one, and they were extremely met. I was very impressed with this ride. I think the animatronics were like nothing I've ever seen in my life. Yeah, Werewolf has its own ride, and Werewolf is also in this ride of Monsters Unchained. There are multiple moments that like actually did get a jump out of me. And the screens, while they got a little bit heavier towards the end, it still looked pretty fucking good. Not quite as good as Harry Potter, but a clear second. Better than anything in any of the other Universal parks. I honestly wish it was just a little bit scarier. A lot of people said that the ending's a little abrupt, but I thought it was fine. I thought the ride was lengthy as I wanted it to be. I thought it felt pretty full. And to give you another perspective of how low the weights were, we got on this ride pretty immediately. And when we got off, or we were let our harnesses up, they were like, if you want to ride again, just stay seated. Yeah, bro. I wish I wanted to do it again. That's one of the rides I would have done again if Dylan actually enjoyed it, because I love that ride, and I would want you to get to experience it without being scared for your phone. Yeah. But all in all, like it is a must ride. Like, even if you're not the fan of the IP, I'm not really. There are multiple moments that are just you gotta see for yourself. And I love that they used the ride vehicle from Harry Potter, because I even feel like that ride vehicle, that ride itself, the Harry Potter ride, Forbidden Journey, is already a little scary. So why not use it for an actual like scary ride? I know, bro. I rolled a 20, dude. I couldn't believe it. I actually was telling I was talking to my friends and just saying, like, I was thinking, God, man. I was like, what did we do to get so lucky to be able to do these rides like that? So This is going to have to go in the S tier. I think it's still behind Hiccups. No, honestly, I could be convinced otherwise. Hiccups was clearly a little bit more fun because I like coasters. And the animatronics are cool. Actually, I'll leave it as is. If I change my mind, we'll decide on that. But finally, we circled back to Nintendo Land and hit up these last two. We got in line for Minecart Madness when it was like 90. And it got canceled, got paused because of rain. So we're like, okay, let's just go do Yoshi's Adventure, which I've seen get to an hour wait. When we went, it was a walk-on. And Yoshi's Adventure it's exactly what you like want it to be, I would say. A lot of animatronics. Some look better than others. Captain Toad looks really funny. But the Yoshi scene, the indoor scene, looks amazing. The music is pretty good, and the little interactive element with the eggs is fun. But it's a people mover ride. That's it. Can be pretty hot. Also, some of the animatronics weren't even moving when I was there, which I noticed. I want to pet a baby Yoshi as well. There were baby Yoshis on this ride that were pretty cool. Kate didn't even know baby Yoshis existed. Yeah, bro. People wait hour. I've seen wait time for over an hour for Yoshi's Adventure, bro. I would not ride it. Honestly, I don't think I would have ridden it that day if it wasn't a 5-minute wait. Yes, Eugene, there's a Captain Toad animatronic. There's a lot of cool animatronics. There's a Baby Mario animatronic that looks sick. But anyway, I think this ride could have been a little bit longer, a little bit better. Showcase the land a little bit more because it only really stayed in the corner. And I think they should have taken advantage of having a Donkey Kong Country area and expand the track to go look over there. There doesn't need to be as many animatronics if they don't want to. Just have a little part where you go out, circle, get a little nice view of the area, and go back into the show scene. That's what I would have done. But as a whole, I can't put it above Racers Rally because at least Racers Rally had a little bit of a thrill to it, even if it was short. This is for little kids. Little kids, I'm sure, will love it. But it's not great. It's exactly what you would expect. And finally, what easily gets the highest weight and is probably my most anticipated ride is Minecart Madness. Donkey Kong Minecart Madness. And I saw a wait time the weekend that while we were there, the day before we went, it was, or maybe it was the same day. No, I don't think it was the same day. Day before, 240-minute wait. 4 fucking hours. 4 hours. I would not ride this. I don't think there's a single ride I would wait 4 hours for. Just not. No. Now, did this ride disappoint me? No. It could have been a little bit more thrilling. I didn't get to meet DK Huge. I wanted to. I kept an eye out for it, but he never pulled up. I did see Peach, but no DK, unfortunately. I think he's a little bit more rare. Get it? Like rare. My friend did get the Brady. What am I talking about? Brady got the DK float, which you should look up. It was a pretty cool dessert. Comes with a souvenir DK barrel mug. But this ride was interesting. It had a unique element that I don't feel like worked super great because when you went over the jumps, it didn't really look like a jump. Yo, is that John? John, bro. What is up? How you doing, dude? Yeah, I did enjoy the ride. There were some pretty cool drops, intense drops, but I had to wait a really long time. Had to, not because of weather, not because of the line itself, but because of weather. Yeah, I thought it'd be a little bit more calm too. The drops were serious. The music was great. The animatronics, amazing. There's a DK at the end that is amazing, and a Diddy Kong that is like fucking fantastic. Um, I think that's probably the highlight is the music and the animatronics. There's two really good drops, and I'd say overall that's pretty much it. But I definitely did enjoy the ride. I wouldn't say it's worth the longest wait. Stardust Racers was easily more enjoyable, but like I gotta say, it was still fucking fantastic. Um, Diddy did escape the allegations. It's nice that Diddy was addressed. Dixie Kong was in the ride as well. Sick. There's a Cranky Kong in the queue that is amazing. It is funny that they make a lot of characters that don't speak regular English in the games speak English on the rides in the show. Like Toadette speaks in the line for Yoshi's Adventure. Oh, and Toad does, which he speaks every now and then. But anyway, I think I may actually change my rating and put because I'm clearly coaster biased. I clearly am. But to make these tiers a little bit more even, I mean, Aiden, what would you say? What tier would you put DK in? The line for DK was pretty ass, but that one animatronic was pretty cool, and Squawks was pretty sick. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Probably A, but I think I may put Monsters Unchained below it because these are ranked. These are ranked in order. It's definitely better than Battle at the Ministry. I'm just a big coaster person, but I can't just put all the coasters in S. It wasn't as good as Wing Gliders or Stardust Racers. The theming was sick. The idea is there. It just didn't live up to the expectations. It could have been done better. And it was a little bit like jerky. Like it did kind of throw you around. But it kind of added to it. I thought it was fine. I didn't think it was like atrocious. I didn't feel hurt by it. Felt pretty much the same amount of like throwing you around as like the Mummy. But yeah, I think it would make a last second change. Because thinking about it, no, this was so much longer and a full experience. No, I gotta stay true to myself. I think Monsters Unchained is slightly better than Minecart Madness, but it is close. And I think I am happy with my ranking. So to put it in order real quick, we got bottom. Number 11 is Fire Drill. Number 10 is Constellation Carousel. Number 9 is Yoshi's Adventure. Number 8 is Dragon Racers Rally. Number 7 is Curse of the Werewolf. Number 6 is Mario Kart Madness. Or, wait, Mario Kart. Not Mario Kart Madness. Mario Kart Bowser's Challenge. That's the subtitle. Harry Potter and Battle of the Ministry is number 5. My Kart Madness is number 4. Monsters Unchained in our top 3 is 3. And Hiccup's Wing Glider, the Cinderella story of the tier list, is 2nd. Stardust Racers being number 1. The only ride that I rode 7 times. Probably the only ride I've ever ridden 7 times in a day in my life. Yeah, like dude, the queue itself, looking at all these things as full experiences, Monsters Unchained may be better than all of them. I think that is the fullest experience. Same with Harry Potter, but Monsters Unchained was just fucking, the queue was amazing, the pre-shows were amazing. Animatronics are just like on a whole nother level. Yeah, bro, Eugene, if you ever go to Epic Universe, these are what you got to do. I would say B and above, I would try to ride. A and above, must rides. Prioritize them for sure. But yeah, as a whole, this is what I got. This should be a video soon. Tune in to my shorts and my TikTok tomorrow. Let me go to chatting. TikTok tomorrow. Got a review of the Fallout house. This sick ass shirt that I got from Horror Nights. And if you think I should do a video on Horror Nights, let me know. I didn't get to do the full experience, but I can give you my honest thoughts as a first-time Horror Nights goer. Thank you all for watching. Thank you for tapping in, tuning in, and I would visit Epic Universe as soon as you can. In my opinion, there is nothing like it. If you've been, please let me know what your favorite ride is. Please let me know what your experience was like. And as a whole, tell me what you would most likely enjoy the most if you haven't been. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Subscribe, like, comment, just do all the shit, and fucking stay epic, my boys.